The time is now. It's back to the rhymes. It's like, wow, he's back to the rhymes. I'm in the booth, straight dropping dimes. Clark Kent Daily Planet, the Metropolis Times. I write these raps while I'm under the gun. I see you back to get you some. A little bit of this and a little bit of that. Pure, raw, uncut rap. Back to the rhymes. Now's the time. Time to unwind because it's back to the rhymes. Back to the rhymes. Now is the time. Time to unwind because it's back to the rhymes. Man, under the gun to make this show. Gotta be on a Zoom at 8 p.m. 4. Let's go through the list. Thank you to my daughter for rearranging the room. And the list is here. Let me relocate. Got a new poster that's not new. It's my one show. Back in the good old days when we could do a show, even if it wasn't a huge turnout, we could get together. Um, School Us album sales. This right here. I forget. I think Cody, my man, thank you. Picked up an album. Thank you for that. Don't think I've been able to check in with him how he liked it, but I really appreciate. He likes it. Uh, if there was one profile of the perfect supporter, it's the type of person who's from the Seattle area who says they like to support local artists. And that's I don't know what percentage of the population is like that, but those are I find the most thoughtful, generous folks for they don't sit here and it depends how good. It's not a lot of that. It's more they just want to support what you're doing, and that's really a blessing. So thank you. And I think I think there might have been. I think there's some other possible sales, but I can't quite remember. I think that's the one for the week, which is good. Like things have been good because of the video. I'll get to that later. My Reformation video. So talking to Inyas who helped film that video. He knows somebody. I just need to check with Pastor Mike and see. It's just I need to, as we go down the list, I need to focus on that. So I'm really not spending much time. I had today off, which is unusual to have Sunday off. Kind of busy doing some kind of church stuff and what have you compared to a normal day off, but not a lot gets. I just don't. It's hard to get anything done on any day. But day off is pressure day for me. I'm dead tired from my job right now. We're going to have the holiday season like no other at the post office, so it's going to be something to observe, because right now I'm not having the best of times with my energy. I don't know what it's going to look like when we haven't hired anybody. I guess we can't. Hopefully some of these other delivery companies can pick up some of the slack. I think it's easier for them to hire people than it is us. We're so regimented. So if you're Amazon or you're a contractor, you just pick these guys up. They're not going to get in the union or whatever. You just pick people up. For us, it's a real all or nothing. There is no part-time work at the post office. You're in or you're not. And you're not working 40 hours. You're working well beyond that when you're new. So I don't have a ton of energy. My days of work is just 6 a week are booked. And so I'm not going to be making much progress on this the days I'm working. So short of promoting down the list, but as far as creating or working on technical, tedious stuff, which takes time and energy and stress, because I don't feel like I'm really capable of it, or I got to do it, but it's not something I'm excited to do. It's really on hold. Not going to get anything done today. Got a little done. I'll share that with you. So the video's on pause, and Yas says he knows somebody. I might have mentioned that last week, and so I'm just waiting. I want to get that done first. So You Will Be Glorified. I'm waiting. Didn't work on that at all. YouTube channel. is the bulk of it right now is, I mean, it's hard. Well, I'll talk of it outside of number 8. In case you're wondering, number 8 is that one, but I'm not going to talk about it yet. So the YouTube channel. So I have Mark, my coworker, and that's what one thing I did this morning is he sent me 5 instrumentals, hip hop instrumentals. I listened to them and nice stuff. And I need to ask him. We haven't got to talk about who he likes, who his influences are. I think he'd say he might have made this in college, which could have been the early 2000s, so younger than me, but not like a young guy, right? So, but I could take the lyrics, which is number 9, and I better come back to that because it doesn't come out yet. Number 4 is more to do with improving the channel, and right now, cash flows. I sent number 5 is where all the money went, Neil, and again, he's been a huge help. I haven't heard back. Man, I got this list messed up because I can't really talk about it until I get there, right? So I'll come back to that. But that's where the money is. They went to that attorney fee. So right now, I'm just gonna not invest or put any money into anything until I get caught up. I'm about $40 in the hole, which is fine. But just got to sell some albums, right? And I could talk about Giorgio's helping. He sent me a password, so I have the other YouTube channel that Alex was promoting, and I'm gonna have to check in with Alex. He I think it was a nice experiment and show what can happen, but the motivation's not there for him right now. Maybe for me, we're not figuring out a good path for us, but at least we've learned some things, and that's very good. So, but I got the password, so I can add content. So I think if he wants to promote anything, I think it makes sense going forward to be able to put some content on that channel if we're going to promote it, because we can get the views. He showed by putting flyers that we get views, so that's good. That's good analytics. If you want to have data or whatever, you can get views. Depends on. I should get with him and ask how much time it took, how many flyers you took, investment to get views. Now that's not being monetized, but at least it shows something. So when there's no money that comes in, but maybe they talk about street teams. I mean, really, you got to have a show to make money, I think. And I would say, I mean, my confidence is such that I think people who hear this seem to like it, and that's good. It's good feedback. So, we're looking. That's got to be so. Having a show comes back to having this video, which is not done. So we're gonna get back on looking at that, and once I'm done with all this stuff farther down. Bellevue Ballers will brainstorm tonight. It's an ongoing project. That's the big time funding mechanism. A Better Bread, it's going to be fun, but I haven't ripped the CDs yet. I got Aaron, who did my graffiti piece, which you saw and you've seen. He's working. He sent me a text saying he's got it, he's sketching it out. Thanks, Aaron. So it shouldn't be hard, but I have to do number 8 first, and then I have to get it on CD Baby, and I have to get an IRSC code. Then I have to put it on digital platform, and then I'm pretty much done. It's just that's going to take some time. It's not going to happen tonight. I'm done. Just don't want to do it. I need to do it, but that's it. So really, though, this has been good. Okay, so let me share. I personally shared and have had the person I shared with. Well, okay, here's what I've done. It's at 320 views approximately right now, that music video. So I have a list, and I told about 100 people about the video that I made. Had you heard about my video? Something like that. And, you know, many of them I would just text that because I have their phone number. If I'm talking to someone in person, I would say, "Hey, did you hear about my video?" And they'd say yes or no. Or maybe some had heard about it from somebody else, but they hadn't. Oh, I can send it to you, or they might say, "How do I find it?" So they can type in "Trump's gonna thump" on YouTube. So that's how it. That's if someone says, "Oh, that's interesting," but they don't interested, I don't count that one. So it's got to be, yeah, I'll look it up. At least I'll say they'll look it up. So I got 100 people that I either texted. Some people didn't receive the text. David, if you see this or whatever, thank you because he checked it out. Good feedback. So some people will give me good feedback. Some aren't feeling it. Some don't like Trump. Whatever. It's interesting. It's very interesting. The whole thing's very interesting. I'm getting to know people on a different level because of this. So, but here's what we have: 100 people I have told more or less, and I have 320 views. So it's a 3 to 1 plus 3 plus a 3+to 1 ratio of views to people I personally shared that with. So I guess if somehow I was able to, and a lot of it's people I know. If it was a total stranger, walk up to them on the street, unless I know they like Trump or something, and there was a guy, a real estate guy, who's got a picture there, and hey, send me the video, right? So that's the market. It's not a huge following for the president on my route. So if I was in a different, say, area where there's more Trump supporters, it'd be much easier to get for me to personally connect with people, to personally get them to view this video, and they would like it most likely. It's just where I am that's not as common. So that's some of the statistics. That's good information, and we can compare that to what Alex has done with the flyers. So all these things are, it's a building process. What kind of results can you get for what kind of work? Again, there is no money that comes in with that. A lot of it, I think, is just establishing a presence, a brand, and a legitimacy, whatever, building a base, a foundation, showing, having credibility for what I'm doing. But by and large, people consider it, maybe, it's well done. They like it. So, and I appreciate that. All right. So now number 9, complete songs I have made lyrics for on YouTube. So that's where Mark comes in, at least in the beginning. I got to get with John, but I'm really thankful to Mark. Mark's making hip hop tracks. What I heard from John, we're gonna have to, if he wants to, and I hadn't heard back from him, I need to get back to him. Maybe I call him tonight. Is who, what kind of music can he make? But what Mark's making, solid, and you start putting some horns in there, you get, I like that. Horns, majestic. Been listening to Rocky with my daughter and stuff like that. You like horns are good, even though it's digital. It's not like Luke would have it as, hey, he's got to be the real deal. But I'll take what I can get. So it's MIDI, but it really does. It is nice. So they're loops. And my song, I'm going to start a new song, and it's going to relate to that because there's a number of things I'm thinking about. But if we strip it down, that's what this is. It's a stripped down, bare bones song, and I'm just writing these raps. And Mark, he made those beats. Come over here. See, I messed up with my picture. I was trying to get that in there. So this is that poster. So get rid of the distraction. So I guess I can show it. This, by the way, was the one concert. Kina Kunya. I can never even say that right. So my daughter helped put that up today. Sorry for blocking that. That was back in right after the album came out. They put some CDs in their CD shop. No real, nothing really happened with it, but it's in there. It's in the archives. I wanted to look through Twitter and see if I could find that because I see they have a little Twitter mark. Maybe they promoted me on Twitter or something. So, but that's back in the day. I didn't know hardly what Twitter was back then. All right. Before I get into the rhymes, I just lots of things happen, and this will relate, but happen in a week. But current event wise, I want to just we got um, the election's been called by the unified um, media conglomerate. It's all in one. They're all of one mind. They're all connected, and but it's not official. So that's for the president. There's a they're going to have a runoff, revote or runoff in Georgia. Now, what I was wondering, I know that they're trying to check some of the votes in Georgia, see if that Purdue, the senator in Georgia, would have hit 50%, they wouldn't be doing this election. So if they do a recount and he has 50%, Senate's the Republicans right there. And that's the threshold to get the Republicans, the Senate's a lot lower than for the president right now, even though it's, depends on who you talk to, but a lot of people believe there's a lot of monkey business. So, and that's not new, but maybe it's over the top right now, and it was a perfect situation. And then I'm I believe there's a big plan with this virus and to create a mail. I mean, if you look at it, the virus, however legitimate it is, has created a situation where there's mail-in ballots to the level. No, it was never even close before. What 1%? I mean, in Washington we had them, and a lot of states stayed away from them because, and I've heard Europe even doesn't like them because they know how it can be, how fraudulent it can be. You're not getting to authenticate the actual voter because you can't see ID, which is perfect if you're that scheming type. I mean, this is inarguable, but so you shut down the rallies, Trump rallies, you have more mail-in ballots. These all are things that help. But anybody can sit here and say, why would all these people turn out to Trump rallies and no one comes to see Biden, but somehow Biden wins? So for sure, Trump's not going anywhere. And this is tough for the people that don't like Trump to hear, but he's not going anywhere, win or lose. If he wins, he's not going anywhere. If he loses, he's not going anywhere. Sorry, he's not going away. So it is what it is. So it is what it is. And so I this song number 8, it says my daughter made the point. It's for 2020, right? That's why is he gonna remake it? I don't know. But the song would be applicable if something happened he had to run in 2024. So that's that. So that's where that is, and we'll just see what happens. So for me, I'm very tired of writing about this stuff. It gets redundant, you know. Everyone approaches this stuff differently, but there's a worship song called, I guess it's called Passion, the Heart of Worship from Matt Redman. I guess that's 1999. I don't know if I should have checked. It said Soul Survivor did 1997. I should have seen that the originals from them. I should have. I didn't. But it's, I'm getting, I'm coming back. I'm sorry, Lord, for the things I made it when it's all about you. It's all about you, Jesus. And um, I'm coming back to the heart of worship. It's all about you. It's all about you, Jesus. I'm sorry, Lord. So I'm not a singer, but that's where it's at, because so many of these things require so many moving parts in the world. And the thing that's not moving is Jesus and God. They're solid as ever because they transcend time. God transcends time. transcends time. There's no sense in getting overwhelmed. And so I also want to relate it to the song, to making basic songs, you know. And so I'm going to call this song Back to the Basics. So I have Back to the Rhymes, but how about Back to the Basics? So let me just put out 16 verses. I guess that's basic. I keep telling myself I'm going to go off that, but I'm going to do it here because that is a basic thing apparently. 13, 14, 15, 16. So to have a song called Back to the Basics, I think so what Mark's doing is he's making basic beats, you know, and I'm making raps, and we can just put the two together and we have a song. It's not going to take anything else. I could make songs like that. He makes the music, I make the raps, we have a song. So that's nice. So that's, it doesn't take, in this case, he's just got the music on ice sitting there, not being used. And I need to spend more time. But see, at work, we have, you know, we had a little, I saw him in the lunchroom talking to someone else, and that had been a good time because we got to talk in passing, you know. It's going to be hard for him, I guess, for his health. He's got to steer clear of getting together in person. We can talk however we talk, but it's good. This is all that's really needed. And I also want to say thank you to Luke, who's not Luke the producer, but Luke, another potential, Luke Larson. That's a shout out to his real estate. So he's got a setup at his house. What's going to require is I got to be able to record it to a mic, and we're going to have to get that to him. And it doesn't sound like Mark would want to be doing that. So that's there. It's not a hurry. And the album, so I would call the first album Back to the Rhymes, season 1 plus, because it goes into season 2 to have, say, 10 songs. So that's the plan there. And he sent me 5 instrumentals. And for me, let's just go right down the list. My first song, his first instrumental, boom, 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 boom. And then I'm just going to run them together and work it out. I might have to do some adjustments. I might have to go have some music people tell me if that's okay or not, because sometimes I can't tell. Like when I was making Trump's Gonna Thump with Dale, he told me you need to add a couple more trumps at the end because musically it wasn't working, or it's beyond my understanding. So I'm sure I could learn it, but I haven't learned it, and he's learned it. He understands it. Back to the basics. So, like I said, with the idea that, you know, coming back to the heart of worship, to the center, finding my center. What I kind of want to say, and I'll just probably start off by saying, you know, I think we're in a world where there's a lot of information thrown at us, much more so than back in the day. How would you get information back in the day? Newspaper, word of mouth. Now you have devices, the world's interconnected. So, I mean, to get back to the basics in years past was a lot easier before we had all this technology. And now people are working from home that's totally dependent on technology. My work, I'm delivering mail. That was done well before technology, but all we have is a scanner to scan parcels. But the type of work I do is pre-technology. But some people work as 100% technology. So they have information that could be coming at them all the time. So I would say, let's just start like this. Deep breath time. I'm not gonna say rhyme or whatever. It always happens. Deep breath time. And life's happening fast. I'm gonna turn that into 2 lines though. What I'll do maybe here is make it 16, but it could be 8. I'll I turn to you, O Lord. Because it's you who lasts. I know that was going to necessarily make this a worship rap, but I'm feeling that. Like I said, it's very hard not congregating. Maybe I could say that. I miss you so. And how in our times, look at that. I miss you so in our times of worship. Because miss you so in our times of worship. Because experts, because self-styled because of self-styled experts self-stylized or something who run the ship. And have put a stumbling block between you and me. Now, I'm just writing and sharing here in song. Of course, we can one-on-one, but we can't congregate as a body, the body of Christ, physically gather is our First Amendment right. We make choices in a free society, which I get to hear Rand Paul talk about, and I don't hear many politicians talk like this. It's a blessing to know that people who love liberty are in the right, and We'll be back next week for the rhymes.